you ready? I think we're ready. It's time.
I know, man. You know, it's your special time.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah. It's time for the good news, the bad news, and the other shit. The good news. The bad news.
Well, Mario, I'm going to give you about 10 seconds because PMC...
I usually need at least 30 seconds.
You're only going to need about 6 on this one. And we're smiling, but we may not be. Yeah, PMC, thank you for that information. Russia sending troops into Syria.
Wow. I saw that. I'm going to get to, this whole issue with Syria going on. This is a big deal. It's a big deal because of how we deal with it. You got a lot of stuff going on around the world. People aren't aware of all these flashpoints. This is not even a flashpoint.
Sure
this has been an ongoing disaster.
Yes, it has.
Waging war on their own people, but not the only ones. So we'll get some stuff on that. And we'll do a follow-up story maybe tomorrow.
Yeah. Thanks, PMC, man.
Remember, on Wednesday, too, we're going to be doing drones and clones on Wednesday.
Drones and clones?
That's right. All about drones and clones.
Wow. Interesting.
Wow. All right. Well, first of all, you guys, good news. We got a couple of good news stories. First of all, we want you to know, coming up on June 27th, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is a story we had alluded to earlier, Vic. And it had to do with one of our good friends, Meredith Beale, who sent us over because being honored is his father.
Yes.
His father's going to be receiving the Congressional Medal of Honor.
Big time.
He was in the 1st Black Marine Regiment, the original Montford Point Marines. Now, these were the first black folks that were allowed to actually enlist as Marines.
Wow.
And, of course, they went through some hell, not even given the same food, lodging, none of that,
Yeah.
I'm surprised they gave you bullets. Usually they want you to run out front going bang, bang.
Right.
Okay, but we're going to be featuring this story. Not today. We're going to come back to it, Vic, because I want to get into it to more depth.
I agree.
Okay, so we're going to be doing this. This is the Pioneering Black Marines. So we wanted to remind you, it's going to be broadcasting Wednesday, June 27th, 3 p.m. We're going to get to it and do a preview, talk about it probably tomorrow.
Okay. I like
okay,
that,
you
man.
guys?
I like that.
All right, now, I got the wrong one. Okay.
See.
The other good news story that we wanted to deal with today is actually a pretty pertinent story, really interesting. And I thought you guys it really had to do with the changing audience out there in the world. It's from an article that I read from the Los Angeles Times, the business section from the Sunday paper. And it's an article entitled Changing Channels.
Ooh.
And it's with kids watching less live TV, networks are coming up with new ways to reach young audiences on their smartphones, laptops, and tablets. So let me tell you guys what this is really about.
Oh, we're headed.
Well, it's something we have been warning you about. We've alluded to in the past that people were changing the way they watch television.
Yep.
Okay? And if you look at the generations, now they have all these terminologies for the generations, right? For example, the GI generation is aged 87 to 110. The silent generation is 69 to 86. I guess that's Mac. The baby boomers are 51 to 68. We're at the tail end of the baby boomers, Vic. Generation X is 30 to 50. And the millennials, right now, the ones that are 7 to 29.
Yep.
Well, as it turns out, the millennial generation makes up approximately 98%. 98 million of the viewers. But they are the demographic of choice, okay? Now, let me just tell you what's happening. Typical young person, they don't really watch TV too much. We talked about this before. Even when you looked at older folks,
that's right.
More and more people were on the internet and listening to television. First, they were looking at television and then on the internet a little bit.
Right.
Then it shifted to where they were on the internet primarily with the television on. Well, with young folks, they kind of do it often like I do.
Right.
The TV is keeping them company.
Yep.
If they're listening to it,
right.
But they are on the internet. Now, the network television channels, they know they're losing viewers. They know it. Okay? So let me tell you about some of the things that they're talking about. Neil Howe, who's supposed to be an authority on generations, and he's also president of the consulting firm Life Course Associates, said, the big danger is whether networks will become gradually less relevant and disappear from younger viewer screens altogether. Big danger? Who gives a shit? There's no danger in that. Yeah, they may disappear.
They're talking to
Get
money.
on it.
They're talking to money. That's what.
Yeah.
But no, look at Brandy, for example.
Get on it. You may disappear.
Mario, right next to you. Look what Brandy's doing.
Yeah, I'm looking at her.
And I think this is Brandy. Brandy. I think it's wonderful.
I'm looking
because
I was Instagramming, but
It's cool. I'm just looking.
Wait, the part that what you're saying is instead of TV leading first, actually it's your social media, and the TV happens to be watching me. It's just changed.
Well, that's the way. That's what's happened. Okay. So
I came up with a brilliant app on my drive here.
Okay.
So do we want to share? We share later. Because I don't want to share a brilliant idea.
Right.
Or not.
Mar, you better.
How would I know from this end when I have no idea what you're going to share?
Well, I know. Well, I can't tell
These are the kind of things that women ask you all the time. I want to tell you something, but promise you won't get mad.
Or I'm going to tell you something, but not right now. I got to think about it.
So now you got to think about what she's going to tell you.
I think you should know. I have a suggestion. You guys got to make it seem like it's something. So, Mario, you continue, and then you take that.
Well, Brandy has a secret she's going to tell us at some point. We may tell you later on in the show. Okay, let me tell you what's happening. The prize demographic, I told you, is the millennial group, right? 98 million people aged 7 to 29. They're nearly 1/3 of the U.S. population. Okay? Check it out. They watch television, but not in the old-fashioned way. For example, 93% of the people who streamed the show had not watched it on television previously. So they're not even watching it. They're watching it when they want to watch it. And that's what they say about the millennial generation. They quote, they call them the I want what I want, when I want it, and how I want it generation.
And spoil rotten.
But I also want to live at home till I'm 35.
I love it.
That's the other thing. 80% of college graduates are going back home.
I would go
That's
back
the latest number that came out. 80% of college graduates are going back home after graduation.
If the bailouts continue,
ain't coming back home to my house. Heck no.
If the bailouts continue, head home. Head home.
All right. Well, let me tell you what happened, you guys. This is what we talked about before. They talked in the article about the CW network, which began like a lot of networks. They just think they can just put their regular stuff on the internet, and that's internet television.
I know.
So it fails miserably.
Yes, it does.
It fails miserably, and no one goes. They go, well, no one's going. Yeah. No one goes, okay? And they noticed that people were watching episodes on other things that were illegal. So they said, well, maybe we should just bring it out ourselves. So they started bringing out shows within an hour. Within hours. Excuse me, I'll say within an hour. I don't remember that. Within hours. So within hours of airing, they would bring it out on the internet. And they found that increased their season like 25%.
Bam.
Wow. So just by doing that, we said that. Why should I think that the minute the show goes off, I should be able to go on the internet and watch it. Why not before it even comes on?
Right. Because Mario, it's not that they can't provide it. It's just that everybody's trying to get their revenue hook in there before it gets to the consumer. Everybody wants to get paid.
They do want to get paid.
And I'm all for that generation that's going when I want it, how I want it. And it's going to, we keep saying this, Mario, over and over. They don't understand that the landscape of entertainment is not going to be originated from Hollywood or New York or Broadway. It's going to come from the people. It's going to dictate it. And corporate's going to have to change their whole culture of how they revenue it. And I said, well, I can see them paying all types of people to be plugged in everywhere. Like they can have soda machines everywhere. They don't care.
Yeah, certainly they can.
You know, it's the same.
Well, so we wanted you to know. So that's the good news. The good news is the networks are changing. Now, bad news, you guys. Rodney King, dead at 47. What? Tragic end.
Yeah.
Now, check this out. A little suspicious to me. Supposedly, his woman said that she woke up at 2 in the morning or something, and he was outside acting crazy. So and the crazy enough that she was like, "What's wrong with you, Rodney?" So later on at 5 o'clock, she hears a splash. So she goes out and finds him in the pool. Now, I guess she can't swim, because rather than jump in the pool and save him, she runs in the house to call the police. First thing, people, police can usually not get there fast enough to rescue the people in the bottom of the pool. You may actually have to jump in the pool and attempt to lift her head above water. Somehow, Rodney's woman couldn't get that part down, but she was able to call the police. So they came to police and found him in the pool. I hope she didn't. Maybe she didn't want to get her hair wet. You know how black women in water. You know they are.
You can't paint that picture. You can't do that.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to understand how you now someone that you live with that's your mate is outside belligerent, acting crazy. You hear a splash. You don't think that you should run out and check on him?
It all depends on how belligerent they're acting.
You should. So then and then you find somebody in the pool. So the first thing you do is run to the phone. See, this is why you don't get dumb mates, okay? I need me a woman who could rescue my ass. I bet you Brandy's ass would dive in there all Olympic and shit. Strong ass strokes.
You have the water in your pool. So I'm not worried about you drowning right now.
But I want to remind you what happens just to take you back. So Rodney King is dead. Tragic end to a tragic figure. Take a look at this historic video while we talk. Seeing Rodney getting his ass kicked. At the police, this is what sparked a new generation. The phone, everybody videotaping everything. It sparked a new level of consciousness. Before, the police used to beat ass like this all the time. Just whip ass. No one ever caught them. Now they have to at least explain. That's why they're getting on citizen journalists. They don't want you videotaping. So this is just to remind you of what ass whipping you don't get today, because Rodney took it for you, and they got a video. So it's less likely. Now, it still could happen.
Wait, did they say he had anything in his system?
Drugs,
alcohol?
Yeah, he was high.
On what?
Oh, I don't remember. Yeah, I think he was at polypharmacy. He still was high. He died high. He was drinking and smoking, and polypharmacy, that's what gets you.
What's polypharmacy?
I mean, you get more than one drug. Half the time you're smoking cigarettes, drinking some alcohol, smoking a little weed, and tooting a little coke.
Oh, or something else.
And then they wonder why your ass is in the ER.
And what do you think? Okay, my question is, what do you think is the trigger to make it all crazy? I think it's alcohol.
Alcohol is known to be one. When you mix alcohol with psych meds, that's when you're out in the middle of the street directing traffic. When you drink on top of your psych meds, you will be out in the street, naked, directing.
Okay, can I ask you a weird offbeat question?
Sometimes late at night when my parents aren't home.
If you're drinking on top of a psych med drug, could you go home and literally pass out and someone have sex with you?
Yeah, a lot of drugs make you can pass out, especially alcohol by itself. Think about it. That used to just get you drunk. You wake up with your panties around your head.
That never happened to me.
Okay, around the ankles then.
Thank goodness. Where are the ankles?
You guys.
Just say, but yeah, that's what happens all the time now with Rohypnol.
Okay, well I know Rohypnol, but I'm wondering alcohol and.
No, in our days, girls just got drunk and passed out on the floor like guys.
Yeah. Yep, that's true.
So yeah, that's why you gotta watch out.
Yeah.
All right, so that was okay. Well, thank you, Brandy. You're so insightful. She's so insightful, and she actually eats these Quest bars.
Oh, this is a good one. This is lemon.
It's not good, Brandy. It's not. You're lying.
Good, and it's healthy.
Those are no.
Good for
It may
my
be
body.
healthy. Good for your colon.
Good for my colon.
And we worry about that colon. I was thinking about your colon last night.
Well, my colon is upset.
Let me talk to it. Let me talk to it.
I'm not, okay.
Sometimes you have to massage them. Scratch and sniff. I use the little finger sometimes.
You know what? See,
kinda gross.
all it took him was a look few. See, he just needed that gateway to go in.
I can't help it. Well, okay, we're still on the bad news. Now, this one is serious, you guys. Another stage collapse. This time,
Wow.
Radiohead,
Wow.
group we really love, in Toronto. Take a look what happened in Toronto with this collapsing stage. Man, you had one person killed.
That wasn't good. Now, is there? And we do foresee.
They had to cancel the concert.
Yeah.
Wow. The person that was killed was trapped underneath the stuff.
He sure was.
Man, so our prayers go out to the family and friends.
So there's
the best intentions, you guys, all the way in Toronto. Well, okay, enough of that.
What is this other shit stuff?
wow.
Well, in terms of the other shit story, I thought this was a good story. Let me tell you about this. Canadian students have been protesting. Okay, now as it turns out, in Canada, one of the very important things is the Grand Prix, spelled Prix. Some of you thought it was something else, and it was a whole different. That's not what it is. And I know you were going down a whole different road, but no, this is the Grand Prix. You know, it's spelled Prix. It's
right.
The Grand Prix.
I know what he's going.
The emails were not. They thought it was different. Anyway, so the Canadian students, they've really been upset with the rising cost of the tuition, and so they wanted to take on and really embarrass the government. And if what other place other than the Canadian Grand Prix? That's why they went there. So they went there to protest. Now, let me tell you, they went there and they thought that the government was not going to crack down on them. This was the whole story. You know how polite they are in Canada. But it ended up that they did crack down on them, even though they were out there for good reasons. They were demanding to freeze the tuition fees. You know, as it turned out, the riot police used tear gas, pepper spray, batons, arrested nearly 40 people. Right, wow. And this is going on and on. They've had more than 165,000 students involved in protests. Take a look at the pictures, Vic. Let's go down before I show you the video.
This is crazy.
I want you to see the pictures of the students protesting. Wow, they're going out in different nakedness. There's one. I love the B cups myself too.
I'm not.
And then you go, and not his, but her. And take a look.
Ooh.
Look at the policeman.
Look at him.
It almost looks like a guy, but then it has boobs, so.
Come on now. It's sensitive. Sensitive areas. Anyway.
What is there stuff? What?
See, look at this. Now, everybody should wear those underwear.
Wow.
See, everybody should wear everybody's ass. You know, when you put your ass out there. See, I will put my ass out there just because I want you to have an appetite suppressant.
Oh, man. I don't know. I'm speechless.
Well, I want y'all to see this. So this is, you know how good the Canadians are. They don't even, when they won the hockey thing or whatever, they had like a little fire in the street, like a little teeny fire. And then they all went home. So I want you to take a look. So now let's take a look at the video and see what happens when protesters clash with the police in Canada over tuition hikes. Let's take a look, you guys. Boobs versus guns. Wow. Look at this wonderful underwear.
Wow, this is good stuff. It's like
The Canadians got to get more sun. It's not like Southern Cali.
Can you pull that off in Compton?
No. I don't think I want to.
Let's speak Spanish now, Compton.
Hola. Me llamo.
I just want to understand. Okay, why is going naked the message?
Because it's a protest. If I go naked, it's a real extreme protest.
I'm just trying to figure out. Can't you protest? Why
no, it's not the same, Vic. Stop messing
No
with
one's
it.
going to come if you're dressed. Who cares? Ooh, there's tons of people dressed.
So let me ask you this. Describe what you see, Brandy, as you see the guys walking by.
Oh my goodness, I see a bunch of people who are crazy and having fun and living their life.
They're protesting.
Supporting their passion.
You know what? You're lying.
They're protesting.
He's lying. I'm telling you right offhand. Everybody knows this. When you look at naked people, you forget the message. You do. You're looking at them to see what you see.
I didn't. I thought the message was breastfeeding is important. It continues to
They could
be
use it for that.
No, you know
important
what?
part of today's
Why do we
world.
not ever see the real fine people who get naked?
Because they don't protest?
It's
They're
like
too
the
busy at home.
nudist beaches. I know.
Putting on skin conditioners?
See, I just want the obvious question. If a bunch of actors were protesting, and Brandy, they were all the famous, and the guys, all the famous actors you like, beefcakes and everything. And they said, we're going to protest naked on Santa Monica Boulevard. Would you rush out to see them?
Heck yeah.
See?
I'm going to be there filming with Pac Stereo or by myself. If Pac's not coming, I'm going.
Now, let me do this. Let me do this. So it's a bunch of unknown guys who are going like, we're protesters that's not in physical condition, but we're protesting because we want to be who we want to be, and they're not actors. No one known. Do you rush out there, Brad?
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? See? So the cause is not the message. The message is you better look good, right?
Sagging asses for progress.
So this is
That's
my
what
message.
I'm gonna call it. Man tits for peace.
See?
Man tits for peace.
It's like the gay
My new group.
the gay pride parade in San Francisco. Is you always just know because you've seen it. Like that's definitely fun.
Yes, see, I say everybody. Aren't we animals all the way at the bottom of
We
it?
They're
are.
good looking and they're dressed up.
And hence, that's why we bring it to you the way we do. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the good news, the bad news, and the other shit. That's right. I don't believe you heard me.
No, I need to go.